Hi, I'm going to read you the first of 7 bedtime stories from The Adventures of Bearwolf. This is Bearwolf, and the first story is called Bearwolf and Fidget. Bearwolf loves snoozing and drinks fizzy pop. Fidget, she loves seeing how high she can hop. Bearwolf, says Fidget, I think you should stop. Bubble bath's naughty to put in your pop. But Bearwolf loves bubbles. He burps, and they go far out of sight where nobody knows. Late one morning, Bearwolf was snoring. That's boring, said Fidget. I'm going exploring. Under and over, around and behind. I wonder, said Fidget, what will I find? Then down on the beach, by an old piece of rope, Fidget discovered a predictascope. Well, Fidget looked through it, and what did she see? A very big wave, and it's coming for me. But she put it back down, and the wave disappeared. That's odd, said Fidget. What's going on here? She went and told Bearwolf what she had seen. Are you sure, Bearwolf yawned, that it wasn't a dream? I think, said Fidget, it's trying to say we must go and explore what could make such a wave. So they packed some fresh clothes and some snacks for their tea, left a note on their door, and went down to the beach, where Lilo, a turtle as big as could be, said, climb on my back and we'll sail the sea. So together they sailed a night and a day, till they came to the Baldrus at Kiblubbin Bay. The Baldrus were belly-flopping into the sea to hunt at the bottom for clams for their tea. We used to catch jellyfish. They were the best. Don't even like clams, but there's nothing else left. So deeper and deeper they needed to dive, till the waves that they made became ever so high. And through the predictascope, Bearwolf could see. A problem for you is a problem for me. So they got back on Lilo, pushed off from the beach, and set sail for the land of the jellyfish thieves. But the jellyfish thieves were just penguineapigs, these cute little creatures scared out of their wits. Why have you taken the Baldrus's jellies? Said Fidget. That's mean, and it's awfully smelly. We needed the jellies to use them as bricks, to build us a wobbly warm pyramid. We need to keep warm now the dark shadow master is blocking the sun. It gets colder much faster. Through the predictascope, Bearwolf could see. A problem for you is a problem for me. So, though they were tired and the journey was long, the predictascope said that they must carry on. Remember the jellies, the clams and the waves. Now it's not just our island that we have to save. So they got back on Lilo, and this time even faster they sailed to the land of the dark shadow master. And as they approached, the dark shadow grew taller, and Bearwolf and Fidget both felt a lot smaller. But when they arrived, my how they laughed. The dark shadow master was just Mr. Giraffe. Hey, Mr. Giraffe, your stilts are too long. When you use them, you block out Penguineapig's sun. I eat rainbows up in the sky, but now the rainbows are rather high. In fact, the rainbows are almost gone. That's why I need my legs so long, long, long. Through the predictascope, Bearwolf could see a problem for you is a problem for me. So they climbed up his shoulders and slid down his neck and landed on Lilo, who asked them, where next? To see the professor on the island of facts. But when they arrived, it was covered in cracks. From overhead, a loud voice shouted down, You there! Yes, you there! Best stay off the ground! The ground started shaking, But, just in time, down tumbled a rope, and up, up they climbed. "So you stole the rainbows," said Fidget out loud. "Yes, sir, this professor must stay off the ground. It rumbles and shakes with a terrible sound. Every building I've built ends up falling back down." Well, through the predictascope, Bearwolf could see. A problem for you is a problem for me. "Time is short," said Professor, "so best not be slow. Take 2 of these rainbows wherever you go." So Bearwolf and Fidget clung on really tight, and with a 1, 2, 3 whoosh, they'd already arrived at Mole Island. A strange, dark place. Fact, full of moles in holes, wearing bowler hats. "Why are you digging?" said Fidget. "It's shaking the ground." "And what's it to you?" said the mole with a frown. "Well, your digging is causing all sorts of trouble. Professor's new buildings are turning to rubble, so he's using rainbows to stay off the ground. So for Mr. Giraffe there are none to be found. So he's wearing stilts that are bigger than trees, and his shadow is making penguineapigs freeze. So they're stealing jellies to build a warm place, but the jellies are Baldrus's favourite taste. Without jellies the Baldrus must dive really deep to get clams that they don't even like for their tea. And the waves that they make are as big as the sea, and they're coming straight for us, Bearwolf and me. So please, Mr. Mole, don't be mistaken. It all starts with you and your digging and shaking." The mole said, "Yes, well, that may well be true. But before you accuse, pray tell what you do. I'd be willing to bet that you dig some holes too, if you had to escape from the bubbles of doom." The bubbles of doom? They sound really bad. What kind of a terrible monster makes that? Looking through the predictascope, Bearwolf's jaw dropped. Who's that, pouring bubble bath into his pop, then gulping and slurping and burping big bubbles? I think we have found who is causing these troubles. "It's me," said Bearwolf. "Who could have guessed that blowing those bubbles could cause such a mess?" So Bearwolf said sorry, and Fidget did too, for thinking the start of the troubles was you and you and you and you and you and you and you, before in the end I saw it was me. Sometimes our own bubbles are the hardest to see. So they set off on Lilo with sleep in their eyes to make their way home as night filled the sky. And Bearwolf, he promised, no more would he blow bubbles of trouble where nobody knows.